Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dope Black Chick Podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Spital. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but I'm not here to recount the weight. You already know the weight of it. What I'm here to talk about today is what's on the other side of everything we're hearing. I want to have a different kind of conversation, one about power, not pain. I want to talk about how misogynoir and, the exit economy leaving us behind is really a reflection of a fear. The world has a vested interest in your exhaustion. The systems, the dynamics, the cultural conditioning, all of it works better when Black women are too tired to access their full power. And it's not paranoia, it's a pattern and pattern recognition. The misogyny headlines, the exit economy stories, the constant narrative of Black women as burden bearers, none of that seems to be accidental. Because an exhausted woman seeks, a depleted woman performs. A woman running on empty doesn't have the bandwidth to even realize what she's actually capable of or what she's carrying. So I want to talk to you guys about the power that you truly have. Because if all of this is just a way to keep you from tapping into it, there has to be power there, right? And what I have found is that healing is how you get to access the power. Society as a whole has always been afraid of our power. Mental health isn't just about feeling better. For Black women, mental health is about becoming ungovernable in the most beautiful sense of the word. Ungovernable means you can't tell me what to do. And what I've come to find is that when you heal, you stop being available for the things that were draining you. When you're healed, you don't allow certain things to take place anymore. You stop performing strength and you start actually being a stronger individual. When you're healed, you stop seeking approval from people and spaces that were never going to give it to you in the first place. You get quiet enough to hear yourself. Y'all know I always talk about the importance of meditation and listening to your highest self. And a Black woman who can hear herself clearly, who trusts what she hears, that is a woman who cannot be redirected, who cannot be manipulated or kept small. And that's the danger. That's the power. That's what they try to withhold from you. So they try to tell you that you should give of yourself to everybody else so that you won't have the time, that you won't have the space, that you won't have the capacity to tune into yourself. That's what that's about. That's why I am so passionate about Black women becoming selfish in every sense of the word. Because when we turn that compassion and emotional intelligence inward, think about how powerful we will become. Because we'll begin to see ourselves as we truly are. We're loving, we're kind, we give so very much. So imagine if you turned that inwards and you looked at yourself and you spent time with yourself and you gave to yourself as much as you give to everyone else. Here's another lie that society has placed upon Black women. And I'm telling y'all this because I am a Black woman, right? But also, I'm just recognizing as I look back at my life, I'm just recognizing so many things. They told us that being independent was a problem. Self-sufficiency is not loneliness. It's wholeness. Recently, I sat back and thought over my life. I have done lifetimes of work and dreams and goals. And I just thought about if I had to do things all over again, knowing what I know today, I would know that my independence wasn't a flaw to be fixed, that it was a gift to be understood. I didn't know that because the world kept telling me, like, you can't be independent all the time. Like, you need somebody. But it's not a flaw. It's a gift. I'm self-sufficient. I was whole. And I operated in my wholeness. And that the seeking I did for years wasn't because I needed somebody. It wasn't that. It was because I hadn't truly yet learned to trust what was already inside me. And that's the thing, guys. When you heal, my healing practice started in 2018, 2019, somewhere like that. And when you heal, you stop approaching relationship from a place of lack. You stop feeling like you need to have relationships. You need to have friendships. You need to have intimate relationship. You don't think that way anymore because you stop chasing and you start attracting. A whole woman is going to attract people to them. You stop auditioning and you start being. And the relationships that come to a woman who is already whole, those are entirely different from the ones that come to a woman who is seeking to be filled. So I know that now. I know and I understand that now. And that's why I say when I look back over my life, if I had to do it all over again with the knowledge that I have today, I would tell myself, you are whole, baby. You are good. It's okay if you want to be an independent woman. The world may try to tell you otherwise, but girl, you're fine. The version of me that mistook self-sufficiency for being a loner or being too much, that cost me. I didn't even want to be married in my first marriage, but I got married. And what I know now that I didn't then is that I was enough, I was whole, and it was okay if what I didn't want to do at that time that society said I should have been doing, that was okay. So I want you to understand why it is so vitally important that we are focused upon ourselves, that we are internally taking account of a skill that we have, of a capability that we have, of a wholeness that we have. Your wholeness isn't wrong. No matter who tries to tell you it is, it's not. It's not. It is a gift. It is a blessing. We build people. When we pour into churches, friendships, even at your workplace, honey, think about it. When Black women pour into something, ooh, it flourishes. It flourishes. There's that energy. You can feel the love. It is palpable, right? You can feel it in there. You can touch it. That is what we do. So imagine if you were directing that inward. That's what Mental Health Awareness Month is about. It's about taking the time to seed our mental health, to fertilize your mental health, to prioritize your mental well-being. Because if that is your top priority, you are going to flourish, my love. You're going to flourish in such a way because you will recognize that you have everything you need. You are whole. You are abundant. You are complete. You are perfect. And that, I know that a lot of people talk about mental health, and I've even talked about mental health awareness in the states of the importance of therapy with healing from trauma and things like that. But that's not the only perspective of mental health. Mental health is also a tool to unleash your complete dopeness. Mental health is a tool to help you tap into your true power. Mental health is a way, a path to defining yourself, once and for all. And mental health is the key to your true identity. That's why I'm so serious about therapy, meditation, all of those things. Healing isn't a luxury for Black women. It's a reclamation. It's going back and picking up every true thing about yourself that you put down to make other people comfortable. You know what I'm talking about too. I'm talking about your intelligence, your wholeness, your power, your enoughness. That's a word it is today. You know, the world told you to need more, to seek more, to shrink more. But it's time out for that. Healing says you never needed any of that because you were already it. You're it. Black women, you are it. So I have to, I'm never just going to leave you out here, but I will lead you back to this. Wherever you are in your place of healing, if you're just starting, if you're deep in it, or on the other side looking back, I want to remind you that the goal is never just to feel better. The goal is to become so rooted in who you actually are that nothing in the external environment is going to be able to shake that. Now, that's a dangerous woman. That's the healed woman. That's her, right? And that's who we are aiming to become when we say become. That's who we're aiming to become. So I have created this community for women who are doing this work, not to be fixed, but to be fully seen and fully unleashed. It's called the Becoming Circle. If you need assistance on this journey to stepping into your true identity, I'll have the information for the Becoming Circle in the show notes and in the description below. You don't need the world's permission to take up space, ladies. You already know that you were built for this, and you already know what you need to do. I thank you guys so much for tuning into the Dope Black Chick podcast. I pray that this message helps you tap into your inner dopeness. And if it does, shoot me an email, hello@thedopeblackchick.com. Until next time, guys, peace and blessings.